expected service can be influenced by factors such as word of mouth through sharing by others, personal needs, and also past experience of the customer. Differences between expected service and perceived service will form a service quality gap, which will then influence the perceived service quality. To obtain good perceived service quality, the service quality gap should be reduced or eliminated. Customers always tend to compare the service they experience to the service that they expect to receive. Understanding customer expectations can help recreation service provider in achieving high experience scores, but not vice versa. Customers' expectations are not only based on customers' background and experience alone, but also on the communications provided by the employee of the service provider. Good communications provide effective delivery of services and products. In order to provide quality recreation services, the recreation provider must have good communications with the stakeholders. But now, who are the stakeholders? Stakeholder can be a person, a group, or organization that has an interest in the company and can either affect or be affected by the company's action, objectives, and policies. Some of the key stakeholders are funders, directors, employees, and many more, just to name a few. Stakeholders can be grouped into internal and external stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are entities within a business. External stakeholders are entities not within a business itself, but who care about or are affected by its performance. Internal stakeholders can further be grouped into primary and secondary stakeholders. Primary stakeholders are deemed essential, as without them, recreation services cannot happen or take place. Secondary stakeholders are also important to the success and survival of the recreation services, but do not have the same direct impact as the primary stakeholders. This diagram here shows the different entities put under different stakeholder groups. Each stakeholder will have their own importance and roles to play in order to perform good services. This table shows an example of stakeholders involved in the tourism service industry. As we can see here, each stakeholder contributed differently from one another. This figure shows the different objectives or roles played by different stakeholders in monitoring tourism. Different stakeholders will focus on different objectives even though it involves the same topic on tourism monitoring. To recap, in today's lecture, we have looked into what is customer service and provided examples of recreational services. We covered the topic of quality and how service quality gap can influence overall perceived service quality. And finally, we look into the meaning of stakeholders and their roles in recreation services. I hope that you have gained some knowledge regarding recreation services and quality after listening to this lecture. Please do additional reading to increase your understanding on the topic. With that, I will now end my lecture.